morning, everybody. I'm back. I am here tonight because a lot of my friends have been asking about some recent posts that I had posted on Instagram where I have been doing before and afters, because for the first time in my adult life, I have realized that it is important for me to invest in my skincare. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I didn't always use skincare, and then I tried it and then I stopped, and I'm now at a place in my life where I've decided that I need to invest in my face. Maybe that's old age, maybe it's 2020. I don't know about you guys, but 2020 made me feel much older than I would have liked. Nonetheless, I'm gonna run you through really quickly the products that I've been using, because I'm finally at a place after about 5 weeks, I think it's been, maybe 6, I have to double check. I am satisfied with the routine that I'm using. I am very satisfied with the results that I'm getting. You can see some of the before and afters in my Instagram post. I'll do another one after tonight so that you can see what it's like. So obviously, first of all, I don't do this routine with my glasses on. I'm gonna be looking away from the mirror here and there because the camera, because I have my mirror here. I always use a headband. I don't get really fancy with my headbands. Some people use like cat ears and all these different fancy headbands. I just went on Amazon and ordered like top knot headbands. It's really not that exciting. First and foremost, I have actually been using an oil cleanse method for about 5 years now. I did not change that aspect of my makeup removal. I'm not a huge fan of makeup wipes, so therefore I've used jojoba oil, like I said, now for about 5 years. I get it on Amazon. You can get it at any natural food place, Whole Foods, Sprouts, anything like that. I just find that I think it's Cliganic jojoba oil. It's worked for me. I have no issues with it, and it doesn't make me break out. I know people think, oh no, if my face is oily, but I'm gonna put oil on my face, it'll make it more oily, and I am guilty of that. I always thought that. It's just never been the case. I've used it for a very long time, and I'll continue using it. The way I use it, I actually do it twice, especially on the first set, because as you can see, I have a full face of makeup on. It's literally just a matter of rubbing it into your hands and rubbing it on your face. It really breaks down all of the makeup that's on your face, but who's trying to become attractive? Nobody right now. No one's gonna see me. All right, let's say goodbye to my eyebrows, my lipstick. I try not to rub my eyes too much. The skin is already so sensitive on the eye. In order to cleanse it, I use microfiber cloths. I get them damp in warm water, and I just rub off my makeup. Not hard, not necessarily down. This isn't really, you know how they always say when you're doing things with your face, you should always rub up? It's not really that easy when you're cleaning off your makeup. I just use it to clean it off. I cleanse my face about 3 different times when I'm doing my skincare routine at night. As you can see, it took off most of the makeup. I'm confident it took off most, but I always cleanse one more time just to make sure before I use the soaps. Same reason I don't use makeup wipe. I use them sometimes if like I was going to the gym right after work, because I don't like to work out with makeup on. But right now I'm not going to the gym, and that's not by choice, by the way. It's because I live in Southern California and all of our gyms are closed. They've been closed for a really long time. So I use the microfiber cloth one more time just to get off the remainder of the makeup. I use the clean side to get it off, and I'm usually pretty satisfied with the double layer of it. Now, I watch Mixed Makeup a lot, right? She reviews other people's skin routines and critiques it, comments on it, whatever you want to call it. Mostly she does celebrity, so you know we can't relate to that because ain't nobody got that kind of money except celebrities. I used to get some of my tips and tricks from her, and every once in a while I'll find something that's affordable to the general population and I'll buy it. I do utilize oil for my fascia blasting on my face. This is the Ashley Black Guru Fascia Face Blaster. It's something that I recently incorporated into my routine, but I used to use like the gua sha, I think that's how you pronounce it, massagers. And I still use them from time to time, but I've found that the fascia blasting tool is making a much bigger difference. And since I just recently got the tool, I'm now using it more regularly. I utilize oil once again. as it's the preferred method to have on your face when you're going to be blasting. So I just make it pretty quick. Everything that I do to my face, I do to my neck. I was watching this video once and the girl was like, don't forget your neck. Who wants a pretty face and a saggy neck? She wasn't wrong. That is my oil cleansing. Now I take my blaster. I usually start at the bottom. Just a matter of getting the blood flow going. And I'm not pushing hard. I'm just pushing it against my skin. You can see my skin is already starting to flush. It's getting the blood flow going. It's getting the muscles working, getting the skin nice and excited. I don't do it to my lips, but I do it around my, especially where you get those fine lines right here. You know, like when you smile. Everybody makes fun of women because they don't always smile in pictures. You wanna know why? Because when we smile, see the wrinkles on the eyes, you see the wrinkles on the cheeks. Stop giving us a hard time about that. This only takes about 2 to 3 minutes. I use these tools on my body also to help with lumps, bumps, AKA cellulite. Again, don't forget the neck. You can see again that my face is super flush, but that's what we want. It doesn't hurt. So I'm done with this. I am complete with blasting my face. I'm going to rinse just one more time, try to get the rest of this oil off my face before I cleanse with my nightly cleanser. I do this technique with my blasting tool about 3 days a week. I don't do it every single night, and that's just because I'm lazy, for no other reason but that. I'm just gonna be honest. Then, to wash my face, I use the CeraVe Hydrating Cream to Foam Cleanser. I've had this now, like I said, about 6 weeks, and I've used less than a third. A little bit really does go a long way. I think that was one thing that deterred me from a lot of skincare, was that I was always concerned that it was so expensive. Not that CeraVe is, it's very affordable, which I love. But I always thought it's so expensive and I'm gonna go through it so fast. I don't wanna have to be buying this stuff every week, every 2 weeks. And I'm gonna tell you, of all of these products that I have not had to refill any of them. I have 3 of my products that are just now getting to the very bottom after 6 weeks, and I'm going to have to replace them. Other than that, everything else still has half of its life left. The theory that I had was inaccurate. So anyways, I like my face to be damp when I do my first wash. Like I said, a little goes a long way. I use maybe a dime. I just do it in circles. Don't forget your neck, because you still have oil, residual oil left over from doing the blasting. Well, in my case, I like to get around my chin area a lot, because as you ladies know, that's where we have our hormonal breakouts. And I don't know about you guys right now. I'm not wearing a mask often because I'm not going into the office, but when I do wear a mask, I feel like I can break out just right there. It's really annoying. All right, I'm gonna rinse my face real quick. I'll be right back. I use the cream to foam cleanser every night and every morning. I also use that jojoba oil every night, and only to remove makeup. If I haven't been wearing makeup, I don't use the jojoba oil. I only find it necessary as a breakdown method, because the makeup wipes, as I've seen, like the mixed makeup, she does this little demonstration of an orange and the peel, putting makeup on and then using a makeup wipe to get off, how it still stays stuck in the pores. The jojoba oil or any other foaming or cleanser that you use, whether it's a balm, an oil, whatever the case may be, that's what you're looking for, to break down and so it doesn't get stuck in the pores. Then I use the Micro Magic Skin Renewing Microdermabrasion Scrub by Bliss. I get this at Target. You can get it on Amazon. But I don't know, when it comes to things I'm putting on my face, I don't like to get it from Amazon. I'm always worried like whether or not it's actually coming from the vendor. I know that sounds ridiculous. Don't judge me. One of my biggest pet peeves is when the water drips down your elbows to your elbow, right? Stop acting like it don't happen to the best of us. You can't really see that it's on my face, but I can feel it. I don't use a lot. Again, I use like a nickel size, if that, and it's just an exfoliator. It's scrubbing my face. I use this about every other day. I don't use this in the morning. I only use it at night as I feel necessary. All right, let me rinse this off and I'll see you in a sec. So fresh and clean. The next thing I use is a toner. I use this Heritage Store Rose Petals Rose Water. It doesn't have any other additives. It's just strictly rose water. I usually make rose water from my garden, but because roses aren't blooming right now, it's the winter, I do not have the opportunity to do that. I usually just spray like 4 or 5 times. I don't know that this is actually really doing anything, but it smells good. It makes me feel pretty. My daughter likes when I spray it in her face, so who knows. So the next thing I do, my face needs to be dry for this, is I use a couple of different tools. Now, this is the in-depth skin routine that I do. A couple of the things that I'm going to be doing next, I don't do these things every day. I do them once a week, and I will let you know as I go. First and foremost, I shave my face. I never thought about shaving my face until I recently watched some other tutorials and other people doing it. And I don't have like a hairy face. I don't have noticeable hair on my face aside from my eyebrows. However, we all have like that peach fuzz, you know what I mean? And it does not help when you're putting on makeup. It doesn't set right and it just doesn't prime right. It really does make a difference if your face is smooth, let's be honest. I started shaving my face. Once I'm done with that, it allows me to scrape off the dead skin, get any peach fuzz, and really just make my face feel smooth. Then I have the Microderm Mini. I utilize this to get the rest of the dead skin. It helps if you have breakouts. It just kind of sucks out the bacteria and it does dry out the face, but then we'll get back to adding in that moisture. I found that it helps smooth the skin even more, get rid of some of the dead skin, especially on my forehead. I don't know why I get it so much there. It comes with a couple of different heads. So it comes with these diamond heads, which there's a larger one for the majority of the face and the tinier one that are supposed to be used for if you have like a spot that's really broken out, or for the nose. I use it mostly on the sides of my nose where I have some other pores. It does come with two that don't have the diamonds on the end. These two are meant for like an everyday use. Again, I don't do this every day. I only do it once a week. Therefore, I only use the diamond heads. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. I have really sensitive skin, which is another reason that I didn't ever really look into skincare. I was always concerned that my face would really break out. I'm the type of person that I put a band-aid on for too long and I'll break out in hives. I've always just kept my face routine really simple. I just used to use like a Castile peppermint soap for my face, and that was it. 2020 really made me feel old. These are filters, by the way, that I'm opening. The Microderm Mini comes with a set of filters, and so you change it every single time you use it. Just pops in here. I always start with my nose. I just get it out of the way. And it has two different speeds. There's just the standard speed, and then there is a faster speed. It's not really faster, it's more suction. I personally don't use that one just because it's already kind of aggressive on the face, and you'll see as it pulls on my face a little bit. I don't want to pull more than I really have to. Let's start real quick with the shaving. I usually start at the top and I get my forehead done. I move into my cheeks and along my chin line. You just start now, and I'm going to tell you, be careful because these things are sharp. You get too close to your hair, you will shave your hair. So I try not to get too close to my hairline so I don't accidentally make a mistake. I like my hairline and I want to keep it that way. The ends are actually really sharp too, so you got to be careful that you are flat against it. You should be at about a 45-degree angle, and then you just do it in little feathered strokes. You can hear it as it's going against the skin. It gets a little tricky for me right here when I'm doing next to my eyebrows because I'm not trying to change the shape of my eyebrows, but I want to get the dead skin. Like I said, I just go in these little strokes and then I can already see some of the dead skin coming off. You probably can't see it, we're not close enough, but maybe when I get down to my cheeks, you'll see a little bit more. Take your time doing this. When I get to my cheeks, you'll see I kind of start by going up and down. I also do not get too close to my eyes. The skin is just so sensitive under the eye as it is. Anyways, that's about how far I go. And then I change. Oh yeah, gross. I change the direction that I go when I get to my cheeks. I start just under the bottom of my eye, right about here where my moles are, and I go in a downward, and then eventually I go back like this. I never go up. I think I was always afraid, you know, we all have like that peach fuzz on our lip. Don't act like you don't. If you don't, you're lying. Some of us are blessed though with thin hair, light hair, not much hair. I'm not one of those people. I have very thick hair. I have very dark hair. And therefore, you can see my peach fuzz sometimes. It's not like dark like the color of my eyebrows. I don't have a mustache. Let's not get crazy. Again, that peach fuzz doesn't help the makeup situation. I was always afraid. My mom used to scare me sometimes like, oh, if you try to get rid of it, it's gonna come back thicker, right? Like your legs. And so I think I was always really afraid of that. But when you think about it, when you shave your legs, you're shaving against the hair or against the grain. When you're doing this, you're shaving with it. So I think that's what makes the difference. Because I can't even tell when my hair is growing back on my face. And so that's a plus. Like I said, I don't get close to my eyes, but I'm gonna finish up. I'll speed through this a little bit for you so you guys don't have to stay with me forever. But take your time in doing yours if you're gonna take this on. Be careful, don't push hard. Just do little strokes, and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. All right, as you can see, my face is pretty red. Like I said, I have pretty sensitive skin, so that's not surprising to me at all. I can touch my face and I can feel that peach fuzz that I could feel before is gone. The effect that I was going for clearly worked. I'm now gonna move to my Microderm. This is really gonna make my face very red, so just bear with me, and I promise you it goes away. My face might be really red at the end, but by morning, we're back to being glamorous. Like I said, I usually start with the little diamond option. I already put my filter in. We're nice and charged. You just turn it on. There's like an air filter that comes out the bottom. You just stick it flat against the skin and drag. If you can make the skin taut, you want to. It's recommended. I use this little one for my nose to get all those little pores cleaned out. If I have extra time, like every other week, I have a facial steamer that I use, and I take that steamer and I open up my pores before I do this part, which really helps with any breakouts and any little obnoxious pores on my nose. Move to the bigger one. So you should start in the middle and work your way out. I will tell you the other reason I don't use the blue setting. I did use it once because I was breaking out. I felt like my forehead just was a little bit more red and irritated than I wanted it to be. The next morning when I woke up, like there was a couple spots on my face that were like almost blue. I think the suction was just too much, even though it felt great and it felt like it helped with the problem at hand. It created its own problem. Like I said, thank goodness I'm not going to work or into the office these days, because then I have to worry about people seeing bruises on my face. Once the forehead's done, I never do this side or this part of my eyes. I just don't. So I usually start at the bottom, bring your cheek out, pull the skin as taut as possible, and let the machine do the work. Take your time. I'm going to speed through this for you. All right, and I'm done. So you can take this, oh, that's disgusting. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is all the dead skin that this thing just pulled off my face. Again, my face is super red because I'm sensitive, but oh, this is disgusting. Ugh. So I always take off the filter right away so I don't forget to change it the next time, and that way I just leave it open. Now, I did skip over this briefly earlier, but in the morning, because I don't use the Bliss Microderm scrub in the morning, when I only am using the CeraVe and I want a little bit of a pick-me-up, my girlfriend had told me to pick this up because she said she could just feel like her face was tight after she used it. So the Derma E Vitamin C Gentle Daily Cleansing Paste, amazing. It smells so good. It's got turmeric in it. It says golden turmeric ancient rice. It's amazing, and it really does tighten up the face. Like you can feel the lift when you're done. Appreciate Grace for, for recommending that. Next, I take care of the under my eye and my lips. So I use the Patchology Rejuvenating Eye Gels. I've tried a couple different of the Patchology eye gels, but I find that the rejuvenating ones are just my favorite. You guys all know that we wear these old lady eye patches, right? Everybody was talking about how like all these celebrities and all their skincare, which we all know we can't afford. Let's just be real. In 2020, like, I just felt so old. And then I told myself, I need to preserve what I've got. I get a lot of good genes from my mom, but if I'm not gonna take care of them, what's gonna happen to them? So remember I told you how I watch a lot of Mixed Makeup and the reviews that she does of celebrities and their skincare routines? This is one thing that was not ridiculously overpriced and I felt like I could buy it and still feel bougie. So I got the French Girl Rose lip polish and it's amazing. So I got these little, again, anything that I can buy that's inexpensive but it makes me feel bougie, all about. It's these little like lip scrub applicators. I just put a little bit on it and I massage it into my lips. It has in it coconut oil in it. There's obviously a scrub in it. I use it to just exfoliate. My lips get super dry. Just like the rest of my sensitive skin, my lips will just peel for no reason. Like they ain't got nothing better to do. This stuff just like rehydrates it. And the next day my lips, they just feel amazing. I got it on Amazon. The first one they sent me, the lid was broken, but I had no problem returning it. Then, while I have these amazing eye patches on and my lips are working, I use a jade roller to calm down all the redness and inflammation that's happening on my face right now. I use this and before I know that I'm gonna do my face routine, I put this in the freezer and Lord, does it make the difference. It feels so good. I used to just like take this thing and just like roll it off my face. And then again, I was watching Mixed Makeup. She talked about starting, going out, and starting back, not to just roll back and forth. So, I mean, she says it's true, it's probably true. For me, the freezer is where it's at. Oh my goodness. That just feels so amazing. I mean, I'm sure it's like way nicer if you can afford to let someone else do this for you. But that's not your girl. Your girl is just trying to make a living, take care of these kids, hide my couple of grays. I got 3, 1 for each kid, and preserve what I got left. Maybe even rewind the clock a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right. I leave the patches on for about 5 minutes. And then thankfully, I hate some patches where you have to like rinse off the area. To me, that is so frustrating. So these I like because once you take them off, you just rub in what's left, which is amazing. So I rub it in. Oh, look, me changing my fingers. So again, with a lot of these girls that I've watched that talk about their skincare routine and whatnot, and Mixed Makeup, they say that you should use your ring finger when dealing with your eyes and your under eye, because apparently it's the least used finger. It's in the best condition. So I use that finger. I'm gonna just use my microfiber cloth to take off my lip scrub. I love putting things on my face that can taste good, you know what I mean? Like that, you can taste the coconut oil, it's not bad for you. And then sometimes when I do a mask, I do Manuka honey. I don't get upset when it dribbles in my face. Next, eyes. First and foremost, in the morning, I have started using the Ordinary brand. I have another couple of things from them I'm gonna show you in a minute. I use 3 other of their products. And this is the caffeine solution. Y'all know I don't drink caffeine. I hate caffeine, never have, never will. Okay, maybe not never will, but never have. And I use this in the morning just to put it under my eyes, helps with the dark circles, some of the puffiness, wakes up the eyes, if you will. But I don't use this at night. I only use it in the morning, and that's because I'm not using like my night creams and my night serums that I use at night. I don't use those in the morning, obviously. I use this in the morning. It goes such a long way. It's a very thick, like molasses almost. No, maybe not that thick. They have these little droppers, right? But you can see it's pretty thick. It's almost gel-like. I've had this for 6 weeks and I'm like a fifth into the bottle. It's barely even made it in. First of all, a couple of friends of mine, when I was asking what beauty line I should choose to test, again, I was really nervous that it was going to break out my skin, but you know, a handful of people recommended the Lancome Genifique, and as soon as I looked it up, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like $120 per bottle. So I was like, well, I don't want to spend $300 or $400. And what if I don't like it or it irritates my skin? I had all these worries and concerns. But then Black Friday came along and I was able to get the 3-pack for the same price. Now, granted, these bottles are smaller. The eye cream obviously is very small, but this allowed me to try the product, see if I liked it, test the results, the before and afters, and not spend an arm and a leg, a third of the price, obviously, and see if I liked it before I truly embraced the brand and decided if I was gonna stick with it. So far, I love it. My face doesn't break out. I can see the results. I always start with the light pearl as recommended by Lancome. Comes with this little dropper, which I'm gonna be honest, it feels a little weird. So this goes around the eye, only to be used at night. And they say to go up on the bone, right above your eye, right? It's like a little massaging tool. I kind of just go in and out the same way my wrinkles do. Trying to help a girl out. And just go under the eye. It doesn't take a lot, like you can see like how much it was, right? There was a lot on that. Sometimes I can put it in the dropper once and get enough for both eyes. Right now I'm just being a little more generous because I'm talking through this with you guys. But I get it up on the bone and then I just massage it in there. It feels a little weird on the top bone, I'm not gonna lie. Because it's hard, you can hear it. It's like metal. But it feels amazing. Again, if somebody else were doing it, it probably feels better. But then I use the Lancome Genifique. This is the Youth Activating Concentrate. Y'all know, like I said, I'm trying to preserve and rewind if I can. So it comes with a dropper on the inside that allocates the amount that you're supposed to use. So this little activator button, if you will, is gonna pump it into my hand, and then when I close it, it regenerates that amount. So I've never used more than it tells me to. You can see here, it puts about a dime in your hand. The pat method, right? Pat it in, get all that moisture, since we took it all out, back into the face. Oh, my face is red tonight. Oh, it just feels so good. I can already feel the moisture. Now that I finished using the Lancome specific products and serums, I then move into the other brand that I've been using. So I've been using The Ordinary. When I first started using The Ordinary, I was kind of just like taking 1 or 2 drops from each of the 3 that I use and mixing them together and then putting them on my face. But after watching the mixed makeup, she talked about how it's really important to not mix them unless they tell you specifically within that brand or that product to mix with another. And I guess it makes sense because at the end of the day, they all have their own pH levels, their own chemical balances, if you will. And by mixing them together, I'm not a chemist, and I could be making them no longer as effective as they should be. So the 3 that I use right now is the niacinamide 10% and the zinc 1%. I also use the 100% organic cold pressed rose hip seed oil, and then Buffet. So Buffet I use last. It's funny because I grew up in Las Vegas and there were just buffets everywhere, right? Like every casino had a buffet, and then buffets were like the thing to live by in Las Vegas. And so when I think about The Ordinary and their product I'm going to be using here, I just think it's just everything awesome wrapped up in one, because that's exactly what a buffet is, right? You get to try 20 different foods from around the country. So these are my foods that I'm trying. They come with these little droppers. I usually just drop 1 or 2 drops. It just goes so far. Like I said earlier, I was so worried when I first started taking care of my skin and investing in skincare that it was just going to be so expensive and I was going to have to buy it so often. That was what was such a deterrent for me, and they go so far. So this is the rose hip seed oil. I usually do about 3 drops, and I'll right away, like starting with the L'Oreal and then moving into these that work together, you can just feel the moisture back in your face. Finally, Buffet 1, 2 goes so far. Oh, again, don't forget your neck. Pat it in. I always try to like extra pat next to my eyes and my mouth where all those extra wrinkles are. And so after I use The Ordinary, I then transition into my vitamin C. And I remember reading about the reviews on the True Skin Vitamin C Serum on Amazon, and it's got like 30,000 reviews. But I, again, was a little bit hesitant to buy something for my skin, or that a product like this, would it be true to brand? And I recently, although I had already purchased it, watched Mixed Makeup do a review on highly rated skincare products from Amazon, and she actually reviewed this vitamin C. And so if she gave it a thumbs up, it works for me. we've got all those bad boys on. Now we get to creams. If you watched Saved by the Bell or JTT, like me, was your middle-aged crush, it's time for an eye cream. Let's just be honest. So I use the Lancome cream. It's a very small container. Again, this was the Black Friday version, but it doesn't take much. I use, of course, my ring finger as suggested, and I barely even put any on there. And then I just pat it around. I try not to rub my eye too much. Since using all of these products and using them together, especially these eye creams and serums, obviously I was in denial that I didn't need them until now. I can really tell a difference. You can tell in some of the before and afters on my Instagram. The skin is more fluffy, it's not as sunken in, it's not dark. Some of my wrinkles are gone unless I smile, so we're just not smiling these days. Some of the wrinkles around my, the dents in here are gone. It's a big deal. And so I'm really pleased with the results that I'm getting. The cream that I use during the day is the CeraVe AM. And then if I know, and this one has an SPF of 30, if I know I'm gonna deliberately be out and about, let's say going down to the beach or going to be going on a hike, I also use the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. I love it because the texture of it and the consistency of it is so lightweight. It almost feels like a makeup primer. So if you're gonna put makeup on, even better, bonus. But nonetheless, the CeraVe PM cream that I use at night that I'm about to use right now, almost the same consistency. It even says on here ultra lightweight. So the two of them are my favorites. The three of them actually, I've been using all of them. So I will definitely put my stamp on those because I think that they are amazing. Again, I'm so amazed by the fact that they don't use very much. I use about 3 pumps, if that, like 2.5 maybe, and that's all it takes. I know, like, I have a big head, right? But it covers it, just like that. I always rub up, like they say. My face just feels that much more amazing after I do my skincare routine. And then I can go to bed feeling clean, my little silk pillowcase, satin pillowcase. It's supposed to be better for your hair and your skin. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope it was everything you hoped for. I will link all the products in the description box below. So if you are interested in getting any of them and where I got them, some of them are from Sephora, some from Target, a couple from Ulta. I get a couple of them from there, and then it really just depends on who has the best deal at the time. The Lancome, I got it as a Black Friday trio, but they also sell it at Macy's. They do sell it at Ulta, and they usually come with a really cool gift. So when I have to replace that, I'm not really sure where I'm gonna buy it, but stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope this inspires you to take care of your skin, to help yourself feel beautiful. We're talking about so much self-care and self-love these days that it's very important. I know it makes me feel refreshed every single morning and every single evening, and I enjoy it very, very much. So I didn't know what I was missing out on until now, but I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. I will link all of the items that I've used and when I use them in the description box below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.